Exactly a year ago, I tried to do 500 pull-ups a day. Then it was physically difficult, but it influenced quite a lot of people. So the idea for the video was successful. This year, after a lot of training on the horizontal bar, I wanted to exceed the limit and decided to try doing 1000 pull-ups a day. It was very difficult for me to decide on it, since I understood that I would have to do this for at least 3 hours a day. But I decided to try to do this only for the first 10 days.
I'm going to do 333 pull-ups at the morning, at the afternoon, and at the evening to cover 1000 pull-ups during the day. So let's get started. I will try to do 10 pull-ups every minute, and that way during the day I will covering 1000 pull-ups. I think it will be so difficult because of volume. It's not 1 hour, 2 hours, it's about 3 hours a day. And to do this thing, you really have to have a lot of time, or you just can't be on time.
I divided the full figure into 3 times, 330 in the morning, afternoon and evening. Although I didn't follow this plan, since at any time on the street I could simply walk past the horizontal bar and do pull-ups several times.
I also do pull-ups when I just go outside, and it helps a lot to get closer to the 1000 pull-ups.
But I divided 1000 during the day because of the difficulty. It's possible to do at once, but it's too expensive in terms of efforts, and the consequences afterwards will be severe.
I will do 500 pull-ups and 500 chin-ups to not overloading my main muscles for like biceps and back.
I also started using sponges to keep my hands clean, and the sponges worked very well for that purpose.
Helps a lot. Look at my hands. They're good. It's 5 AM and it's day 2. I feel some pain, but because of distributing it during the day, everything is good. It's not huge pain. $100 done, 200 pull-ups left. The sun is still sleeping while I'm pulling up. 200. It is also cold outside. Sponges helped a lot because horizontal bar so cold. I also in shorts because I'm going to run after pull-ups. I think 1000 pull-ups is possible for everyone. You just need to have a lot of time to do this. I mean, it's necessarily for you to do it. I just want to show that to every training you can adapt and you can get used to it. 500 pull-ups and 500 chin-ups left.
As I already said, everything was normal from the distribution, but at the second day the biceps tendons began to age, since I did 500 pull-ups and 500 chin-ups. I even had to reduce my running volumes in order to have time to do pull-ups, have time to recover and feel more or less normal.
I noticed that my weakness in sharpness. It's really difficult for me to control it, but I try.
I often forgot to control the sharpness, since the sharpness played a very big role in continuing without injury and pain. Sharpness has always caused severe overtraining of tendons, ligaments and joints. Therefore, when wearing a belt with such a heavy load, it was dangerous.
Even when my weakness is in sharpness, I try to make smooth movements. And because of this, my bicep tendons hurts less. Also, my daily morning task is to close 400 pull-ups as minimum, to be in time to close 1000 pull-ups during the day. And it's really hard to just decide to go outside and do 400 pull-ups as minimum. But it improves you when you decide to do something hard for you.
After 4 days, I didn't even think about the fact that I was doing 1000 pull-ups repetition a day. It became such a common thing. The adaptation was really going well. Afterwards, I got into the tempo and I was already used to it. The only thing that bored me the most was doing 400 pull-ups in one morning.
So after 5 days, I don't have a huge pain in tendons or in muscles. But my main problem is that I don't have time for other things, that pull-ups. I run at least 5k, 10k, and this is not enough for me.
These days, I was also in college, and therefore there was very little time left. I spent 6 hours a day on studying, so the decision to do 1000 a day was like pumping myself up mentally and physically, and removing the excuses that there is no time and energy for even the minimum workout.
My arms and back still alive after 5000 pull-ups. Woo.
The most unpleasant thing for me was having to close almost half of it every morning, since it was always dark and cold in the morning. In general, it was very uncomfortable, but every time overcoming it, it pumped me a lot.
700 pull-ups in 1 hour 38 minutes.
I can't say that it took a lot of energy. On the contrary, because it was an overload for me, the body began to store a lot of energy, which is why I didn't suffer from fatigue. Of course, there were days when I did more than half of it without a break, and then even without sharpness, my joints and ligaments hurt a lot.
Yesterday was a tough day because when I did 700 pull-ups during the morning, my bicep tendons hurt a lot. I even thought I couldn't do more pull-ups. But anyways, at the evening I did 300 pull-ups and everything was great. I almost stopped to do chin-ups because it's so painful because of bicep tendons. So I just do pull-ups. It's hard right now to do pull-ups because I just woke up. This is really tough. 400 pull-ups in the morning are harder than run 20k in the morning. 400 pull-ups done in 1 hour 3 minutes, and I decided to make another 100 to make half. This is after 8,500 pull-ups. My elbows hurt so much because at the morning it wasn't enough strength to do 500 pull-ups, but now they're better. My elbows start to hurt a lot while resting, and this is not because of sudden movements.
In recent days, I have already gotten used to this routine, found my pace, and most importantly, was able to get through these 10 days. The main point of this was to show myself that even devoting half a day of your time somewhere, you can train very well.